Good morning, guys. It is May 4th at approximately 7 a.m. and I'm about to do my weigh-in. So how I do that is I haven't yet eaten breakfast yet, but I have gone to the bathroom. So I'm going to get my weight, add it to Happy Scale, and show you what we do from there. Okay, so first things first, that went really well, so I'm super excited. The first thing that I do is I plug it into Happy Scale that I showed you guys last week. So I go add it in, and it was 267.8. Okay, so what I do when I do this is I take the average for the day. So the average is 269.5. So that is what I'm going to log for my weight for the week and plug into MyFitnessPal. So that's super exciting because that means today that I also hit my first milestone. It was to get to 268. Trends improved, as you can see it changing right now. So I am excited to plug this into MyFitnessPal. So then I go over to MyFitnessPal and plug it in there. Okay, so cool. So now I've lost 30.5 pounds, although the other one says something different, but whatever. So I'm back in that downward trend, which is really exciting to me. Last week I was 271.1, so that is about 2 pounds. So that is really good. I'm happy to see that because I feel like I had been stuck in the same place for so long. As you can see, like I was 271.9 for 2 weeks in a row. And now it's nice to see it going back down. So the next thing that I do is I actually go to tdee.net and figure out what my calories for each day should be. MyFitnessPal will automatically give you a certain amount of calories, but I find this to be a little bit different. So here I just put in my gender, my age, and I think you have to round up, so I'm going to put in 268. I'm 5'4", and I do a little bit of walking, so I just do like light exercise because there's usually 1 to 2 days per week that I am getting more exercise in. What I'm doing right now is I'm really focusing on the diet part because I've realized that I had jumped into the exercising part. Not that you can't do both at the same time, but for me, like, I didn't have like my diet in check. I just kind of thought that I did. And with the exercise, it just wasn't really evening out for me. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just focusing really on this, and it's been successful. So okay, then you just calculate. So what it is going to give you is your calories to maintain your current weight. So see right here, I have 2,655 to maintain. So that's if I wanted to stay at 267. Obviously I don't. So what I've been following is a 500 calorie deficit that has worked pretty well for me. So I will go back to MyFitnessPal and I will go over to my goals where I can see my calorie goals, and I will subtract 500. So that was 2655, so that would be 2155. So it's not a big difference from what I already had been doing. So that's what I do on Saturdays. I kind of look at where what I've been doing and how that's affecting. So this week I feel like it's been working really well following the deficit, and actually this week I've actually eaten a little bit over that, so I guess I have a little wiggle room, but I am going to try to stay within that calorie range and just keep doing what I'm doing, because I think what I really want to improve this week is my walking. I really didn't get in the number of steps. Maybe 1 or 2 days I did that I wanted. My goal is only 5,000 because I do work a desk job, but a lot of people have it higher, so I'm working on raising that number. That's where I'm at. So pretty much I'm just going to keep trying to do what I've been doing. Drinking water, staying in my calorie range, and really trying to get those steps in. So that is really my weigh-in routine weekly. But it is also the first of the month and my first weigh-in on here. I try to get my measurements because that is also a great way to see how you're progressing. Sometimes even better than the scale. A lot of people swear by it and don't even weigh themselves. I do both. I do my measurements monthly, and I also do progress pictures, which for you guys I'm going to kind of do like a live, like, you know, spin around thing, I guess. So here we go. I was just looking back at all the footage and a few things. One, I realized that I have this giant pimple on my face, but I am not re-recording everything, so, you know, I'm a person, have acne. These weight loss videos are going to be more about being real than me being made up, so sorry about it. The second thing was I really wanted to do some real talk about just my journey in general. It's crazy looking at this and just seeing how far that I let this go. It's crazy to know that I was actually 30 pounds heavier. In 2017 I was just about a little over 300 pounds, and that was when I found out that I was at risk of being diabetic, and that is when I decided to start making changes so that this would not progress any further. And it's just so scary to me to know that I let myself get to that point, because when I was 21 I actually lost the most weight. I was the smallest I had ever been, and literally at that time, anything, like, I know that diabetes runs in my family, and I was so set on making sure that I lived the healthiest lifestyle so I would never have to worry about that. And it's crazy to think that then I also thought that I was still super fat. I'll share a picture with you right here of what I actually looked like at that point. I went from 215 to 160, and at that time I thought that was so much, and I felt also that I still had so far to go. And it's just so crazy to think about now, because I would give anything to be where I was then rather than where I am now. And I know a lot of factors went into it. I just had gotten to a point where I felt so defeated as far as weight loss, because after my accident I couldn't work out the way I wanted to. And instead of just adjusting my diet, I felt like it was all on exercise. So I felt like, what is the point? I might as well eat all these different foods. I guess I was just in a place where I was so depressed, and I'm a very emotional eater. So I just decided that food was going to be my comfort. And I just never imagined that my weight would get so high and so elevated. And like looking at my body and like how much bigger it is than I actually even feel sometimes is just really, really hard for me. But I know that sharing my story and keeping myself accountable, being honest with myself and being honest with other people, has always kept me accountable in the past. So that's what I'm hoping for this journey. I'm hoping that even though this is so out of my comfort zone, that being honest with myself and finding support in the community outside of myself will just really motivate me like it did when I was 21 years old. The thing that I'm also happy about is that this time, even though I know that I need to get healthier, I've loved myself more now than I ever have in the past. I feel like my although I never really had an eating disorder like as a diagnosis or anything, I know that my thoughts back then were very disordered. Even if I didn't have a full-on disorder, I definitely wasn't, even though I was eating healthy, I definitely wasn't losing weight the healthiest way. I feel like I was eating way under the amount of calories that I needed, and the less the better, honestly, at that time. And again, like I said, I also was then like thinner than I had ever been, and I still thought that I was huge. Like, I thought that I was so huge, and looking back now, that is just so crazy to me, because I was actually getting pretty lean, and I wish I would have seen that and used that as motivation, but instead, like, I was still so stuck in seeing myself as bigger. I feel like I went off on a little tangent there. Yeah, so I feel like now I know that I'm losing the weight, not to get thin or to look a certain way, but for my health, to be the most fit I can be, to have the best life that I can have. And I feel like just knowing that is going to make this a much healthier journey for me, even though I have a much longer way to go. So that's my Saturday ritual. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. It's been seeming to work the past few times that I've done it, and this is what I'm going to do every month, and I can't wait to see the changes. So thanks for joining me. If you want more, I'm going to be posting these videos every Monday, so give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye!